The idea for this live stream is I was going to play video from my first trip to China, which was in summer of 1996. I do have about an hour and a half of video from that trip. I haven't watched it in quite a long time. And thought it might be fun to live stream it and see what kind of memories and things come up. So, all right. We are going to see if we can jump into it here. This is, hopefully the audio is going to come through on this too. All right. So this is from an old VHS tape. Never mind the date. It says 13100. That was just because the camera had been reset and I didn't know how to change the date. So there it is. If I remember correctly, this is maybe our second day of training. This is in Beijing, China. As I said, summer of 1996. I had been practicing Wushu for a little over 2 years. I think I'm making a joke about what it smells like. There will be a point during the drive where we drive through a field or something. It was like a tomato field, and it smelled like manure. I think that's what I'm joking about right now. A little bit about this trip. So this was a trip that was organized by Sifu Bryant Fong in San Francisco and Sifu Shaowen in Portland, Oregon. Bryant Fong brought some of his students, Shaowen brought some of his students, and we met up in Beijing. And there were two groups of Wushu and Taichi athletes. One was Wushu and one was Taichi. The instructors that we had were quite good. So the Wushu group was taught by Xue Xingfu, who was the coach of the women's team of the Beijing Wushu team, and also what was his name? His name was Master Qin Qing Feng, who was better known as a traditional Wushu practitioner, but he was teaching us contemporary Wushu. He had a small school in Beijing. And I'm trying to remember where the heck the school was. I think it was in western Beijing. But as you can see, this is a long time ago. If you're familiar with Beijing, Beijing is set up with like multiple rings. I think there's something like 9 or more rings now. And back then, I think there were only 2 or 3, maybe 3. I actually don't remember very well. Part of the reason I wanted to record, or that I remember wanting to record our ride to the Wushu school, is because I thought the traffic was crazy. I've been to China and to Beijing many times after this trip, and this is nothing, right? This is pretty mild. But me, coming from the United States, I thought it was still somewhat chaotic. You know, maybe if I watched the video closely, I could figure out where we were. I know many years after this trip, I tried to find the school on a map, and I could not. I for the life of me, I don't really remember where we were, which is kind of a shame. But also, Beijing has just changed a lot, very quickly, and that school is probably not even there anymore.
Go at the intersection. I don't know why we have the
It is so weird to hear your voice from 25 years ago. But yeah, this is 25 years ago now, 1996. Oh, hey, Alan Peng and Cameron. What's going on, you guys? Thank you for joining, and thank you for posting up in the comments. So there are people that want to watch video from my first trip in China. We are getting closer to the school, I think. It was a really weird part of town. It was kind of industrial, but there were also like fields that we had to drive through. Maybe we haven't even gotten to the fields yet. But more about the trip. So the year before, 1995, the guy who taught me Wushu, whose name is Dan Wu, we went to college together, he had gone to Beijing to train with the Beijing Wushu team, with his coaches, Philip Wong and Zhang Hongmei. Zhang Hongmei was a former member of the Beijing Wushu team. So he had gone on this awesome trip the year before, brought back videotapes that just like blew our minds, just really super inspiring, amazing Wushu. And so when I heard about this trip, I was like, I want to go to China and train Wushu, even though I was like not good at this point. Barely 2 years. But I wanted to go to train Wushu. My brain is totally scattered. Like watching this video is bringing back a lot of old memories that I have not even thought of. We're commenting on how they use their horns. Because in the States, if you use your horn, it's kind of like, get out of the way, or like, because somebody else did something wrong. And it was hard to get used to that in China because the horn is just like, hey, I'm here. It's just, you're just letting people know you're around. Everyone's driving, relatively slowly, so it's just a heads up to all the bikers and everything. Hey, what's up, Danny? From Mexico. Good to have you guys in here. Thanks for joining me. So actually, I think I remember when I asked my friend Dan if I could go to China to train Wushu. I think he said yes, but I might not actually get as much benefit because I didn't have a lot of experience. Oh, so this is Xue Xingfu, women's team coach of the Beijing Wushu team. He was one of the drivers of the other car. That is Nina, I think was her name. She was also part of the Wushu group. Yeah, we had like multiple vans that we would drive to the school every day from the hotel. It's my buddy Luke. Luke and I went to college together at the University of Oregon. This is Ronald. The other guy's name is Jared. Jason, and there was somebody else in that car that I don't remember his name. And I'm just like talking so much shit right now. I'm just like commenting on the traffic and how it's like a two-way road, but because of traffic, like all the lanes are now going in one direction, which I thought was, very entertaining at the time. Yeah, Cameron, man, Beijing, right? This is like, this kind of Beijing doesn't even exist anymore, except maybe like way out at like the 10th ring. But this is like pretty downtown Beijing still. But it felt like kind of like you were going back in time. It really, really did. It felt like you were like a time traveler in some ways. What else? God, this is getting annoying hearing my voice. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Okay. So we are pulling into the school now. It was like there was like a track in the front, and then we drove around the back. I remember this. Drove around the back, and then there were just like a couple administrative buildings, and then a small Wushu training hall that was like nothing fancy, very kind of standard Chinese bare bones Wushu school with like a really old carpet that was like a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down.
Good morning. Here's the sword, man. Wait, give it to Luke. Whoa, look at that.
It's Jason, Ronald. Ah, I'm totally forgetting the other guy's name. I feel really bad. Okay, so this is the group that's arriving. This is the Wushu group. That's Marla Fong, Sifu Bryant Fong's daughter.
Good morning.
Um, in this school. Oh, that was our drinking fountain. That was cold water. I do remember that we had cold water, and we did drink water from that water fountain. And I think there was some concern as to whether or not that was safe. You're not supposed to drink the water in China, but I think it was supposed to be filtered. I don't know. I did not get sick on that trip, so hopefully that meant it was okay. This is the Wushu school. Very, very typical. Super typical. If you train Wushu in China, you've seen a dozen schools like this. Mirrors on a couple of the walls, old green carpet, and a bunch of weapons on the side. If anybody, I know, Cameron, don't drink the water. We drank the water. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. This is Ronald. He was doing compulsory broadsword. I had gone on this trip specifically because I wanted to learn straight sword. And this is a funny story. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time to go on this trip to learn straight sword. I learned a form. Oh shit, that was so funny. Did you see this? Look at this. He's Xingfu's totally calling him out for the way he's not tucking his leg on the way up. So good. That's so typical Chinese. It's like, look, he's totally clowning him. This is so Chinese. This is the way Chinese wushu coaches used to teach, is that they would just mock you. They would just like, you look like this. He's like, look at me. And then he'd be like, don't do that. Do it like this. Oh, I love that. I love seeing Chinese coaches do that. Oh my God. Momo has a questions about hairstyles. That's a weird question, Momo. But going back to Xue Xingfu coaching, this is like very, very typical Chinese style coaching. Just like put you down, make fun of you, say you're stupid, say you're dumb, and then they'll slowly build you back up. This kid's name is Jared, I think. Yeah, Dusty. Yeah. Imitate you badly. Yes, exactly. And I like doing that too. I feel like I'm carrying on a fine Chinese tradition on making students feel bad about what they're doing. And then, showing them the right way to do things. This is my friend Luke, so he was learning Nanshan, the Nanshan compulsory. Back then, there was no first, second, and third compulsories. There was just the compulsories. Wait, what was it? Oh, I was telling a story about the straight sword form that I learned. Okay, so yeah, I spent all this time in China to learn straight sword. One, I was terrible at it. Fucking horrible. I was terrible at weapons. And I learned this form, and then I came back, and I promptly forgot the form. I might have part of the form in this video. I don't remember. Hopefully we can see it. Maybe it'll spark some memory. Maybe I do remember the form. But I remember forgetting the form and then saying to myself, Brandon, how
starting point.
Nina, he put that in here too.
Say hi, Mara.
Hi.
哎，那个谁，我只能分辨这个这两个五人啊。
好，姐儿给留言。
嗨，嗨，嗨，嗨，嗨，嗨，嗨，嗨，呜，啊，呜，follow me. This is here. Hi. OK，小猫。Hi. Hi. Go. From the stomach. Guys, follow him over. Follow him. Go. 1, 2. Hi. 这点是
Cheer up.
Okay. And we're back. Sorry about that. My camera just completely died for a second. Where are we? So this is Xue Xingfu teaching them the Nanshan compulsory and teaching them how to yell. I think they were also telling them that there's different yells in the Nanshan compulsory. So, about the practices, I am trying to remember what the practices were like. I think we practiced twice a day. I think. It's a slight chance we practiced three times a day, but I think we practiced twice. Later in this video, I think I have footage. This trip, the group trip, was 2 weeks long, and I had arranged to stay in China for another, not quite a whole week, I think another 5 or 6 days so that I can continue training on my own, and arranged my own hotel, and then one-on-one training with Master Qin. And I think I learned some spear. I think. Not a spear form. I think I just learned spear basics. I might have learned a form, which I promptly forgot. Oh my god. Such a terrible student, Brandon. Terrible, terrible student.
In China, this one has a purifier, so we can drink the water. So that's what we've been doing the past couple of days.
I think, okay, so now we're talking about the water fountain.
We drink the drinking fountain. But unfortunately today, for some reason, we have no water coming out of the faucet.
Today we have no water out of the fountain. That's Master Qin,
So we are here.
known for his Shaolin 5 Animals style. You can look him up online. Master Qin Qing Feng is his name. Very well-known guy. I actually had no idea that he was famous until like way after this trip. Oh, about the other instructors. So it was Xue Xingfu, Master Qin for the Wushu class, and then the Tai Chi class, they had 2 instructors. One was Zhuang Hui, who's top female competitor of Beijing Wushu team. She taught Bagua. And then the Tai Chi instructor was Feng Zhiqiang. So if you know anything about Tai Chi, Master Feng is like one of the greatest Tai Chi masters. Unfortunately, he passed away. At the time, one of the greatest living Tai Chi masters in the world. Very, very well known, incredibly well recognized, and I had like no idea who he was at the time. And we had lunch every day. Master Feng, just hanging out. This is before I was really into Tai Chi. I think I had started practicing Tai Chi, but it was not my thing yet. I liked Tai Chi, but I was way more into Wushu. I think I'm speaking terrible Chinese now. Xue Xingfu and Master Qin. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, I think. That's Marla, Jared, Luke. Okay, something's happening because people are taking photos or recording something. What's happening? Oh, I think Xue Xingfu is going to demonstrate. Oh, he's going to demonstrate broadsword compulsory. So he's like, this is the form you're learning. This is how to do it. Xue Xingfu was like, super good. He was really, really good. Oh, then that's the taichi group on the other side of the room. William Dare is with that group. Then Jason Fong. Who else is in this group? Totally forgetting their names. Like William Dare, if you're involved in UC Berkeley's CMAT at all, he's always a judge there. He's also the instructor of the UC Berkeley Tai Chi Club. Cameron, yes, his name is Qin Qing Feng. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, very, very famous Shaolin 5 Animals guy. Oh, okay. So, part of our trip, we had an option of going to the Shaolin Temple. It was in 1996. It was an overnight trip. We took the train, and then we were like just there for the day. And then I think we came right back. There were some reservations about going on this trip because basically it meant that we weren't going to be training for like a day and a half, or almost 2 full days. But also it was kind of cool because we were going to Shaolin Temple. And it was most of our first times going to China, like, why the hell not? So we go down there, and this is like the regular demo that they do for everybody. So there's just a bunch of tourists. I don't know who these other people are. This is the part of the demo where they're like, come up and punch this guy in the stomach. And they're like, come up and punch him as hard as you want. And people, boom. And it's like a weird hard Qigong trick. And he's like, look, I'm so strong. Your punches do nothing to me. Weak American Wushu practitioners. I think even though this is 1996 and I'm pretty fresh to Wushu, I don't think I was drinking the Shaolin Kool-Aid. I think I still had a realistic view enough of Chinese martial arts that I knew that this was a show and mostly fake. I think I knew that. But it was, it was fucking cool. Saw this demo. You're in mainland China. I have no idea what's going on. And this kid was really cute and pretty athletic. And they're just going to keep playing that Wong Fei Hong soundtrack over and over and over. I think at this point in my life, I still love that soundtrack. And if you're a Wushu practitioner, I'm sure that there was a time in your life where you loved the Wong Fei Hong soundtrack, and then you hit a wall. That it might take you a year, it might take you 10 years, but eventually you hit a wall where you cannot stand hearing this fucking song anymore because you've done so many Wushu demos to this song. But I remember bumping this song I bought the CD in Chinatown. I used to love this fucking soundtrack. Mel, what's up, Cynthia? Cindy Yang, New York City. Of course they're gonna have the broom. It's Shaolin Temple Day. Someone has to have the broom. That's just the way it is. Then they've got the Shaolin thick staff that they're, they break over people's arms. They gotta have that thing. I like this mix that some of them are wearing the Shaolin vest, and then some of them are wearing the full robe. Classic Shaolin demo. Like the fake abbot. You gotta fight your way through the monks. Good Wushu Duilian here. Bare hand forms. Another version of the same song playing in the background. Gotta play every version. You gotta play the old school with the pipa and all the string instruments. You gotta have the one where there's Jackie Chan singing. People love that version. Shaolin demo. Okay, this is getting old. We gotta move through this. He's gonna break something, or is this the one where they put the bowl on the stomach? Or he's gonna break something. I think. Oh, here we go. You gotta love the bowl on the stomach. If there's anything that screams out Chinese kung fu, it's when a grown man puts a bowl on their stomach and asks you to come and try to pull it off. I'm joking. I don't know why this is a demo. I don't know. I've seen this so many times now. I don't get it. I know it's supposed to show that you have like strong abs, but like, why is it a bowl? I don't get it. Cindy, if you're at a restaurant eating noodles, why are you watching this video? Come on. Yeah, Cameron, stomach bowl qigong. It's a thing, right? Here you go. Then he's just like, check me out. Okay, come up and try to pull the bowl, which is like a trick, right? Because there's nothing to grab onto. They're like, don't grab the edge, grab the base of it. And there's no like lip. So it's like a trick on top of a trick. Luke going up there, he's like, ugh. Luke's a strong guy. Look, look how the monk guy has zero emotion on his face. He's just like, fuck, gotta do this demo again. Foreigners want to pull a bowl off of my stomach. Watch this. My God. Barnaby. Is that his name? Doesn't sound right. Alright, then they're gonna break some stuff, I think. Yeah, you gotta do spears on the throat. That's classic hard qigong. This is the showstopper here. Nothing like bendy spears with a not sharp metal tip on the throat. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm just saying we've seen it before. That was cool. Okay, breaking bricks. All right, let's keep going here. Meditation. Oh yeah, they're gonna lay on the knives and then break some stuff over them. Okay, now we're to the Pagoda Forest. This is right next to it. Okay, when you're watching this, check out how undeveloped the temple is. This is in 1996. When we drove up to Shaolin Temple, it was like a dirt road. There was nothing. It was just a dirt road to this parking lot that was just like a muddy dirt lot, and there was maybe like 3 or 4 vendors with some like dusty ass swords and cheap Chinese trinkets. There was like nothing there. Fast forward to 2004, the next time I went to Shaolin Temple, this was completely different. It was like a theme park, and I think it's only gotten more developed. But on this trip in '96, it was pretty sparse. It was pretty sparse. It did not feel super touristy. It felt more touristy than anything else that I saw in China on this trip.
Under each one of these is buried a monk, Shaolin.
I'm mumbling something in the background here. I don't know what I'm saying.
Here we are at Shaolin Temple.
Talking about being at Shaolin Temple.
Yeah.
Cynthia, the stomach bowl looks like your ramen bowl. Cindy, after you're done with your ramen, put the bowl on your stomach and see if the guests next to you can pull it off your stomach. If they can't, then you're just like a Shaolin monk.
By foreign kungfu groups.
I think that Chinese kid was like the son of the bus driver. I don't remember. He looked familiar though. Entrance to Shaolin Temple. So these are all like different. What do you call these, tablets or something? These are like donated by schools that had visited. Yeah, World Tang Soo Do Association. This was our tour guide for not just Shaolin. I think he was our tour guide for some other temples and things too. Spoke excellent English and then gave us the whole historical backstory of the temple, and not just Shaolin Temple, but any temple that we went to.
These are 4 heavenly princes. And that one with the pagoda in his hand.
Cindy says she was there in 2000.
This one
Yeah.
with umbrellas rain.
Getting ready for the Olympics in 2008.
Sword means everything goes well. And the last one with the Chinese
Talking about
music
these
is
statues.
harmony.
I like how it's like, look at these statues, and then there's just like a family eating food in the corner, or maybe they were like construction workers. There's, don't mind us, we're just over here eating our lunch on the ground over here. Don't mind, it's okay.
Original ones were destroyed in 1928 in fire.
Yeah, though I remember. Oh, this is weird. I remember this. Although there was like a bunch of construction, either
Reconstruction.
on a fire or they were rebuilding something.
In that fire, 4 buildings were destroyed at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Yeah. What is this? Kid. Where are we in the temple now? Are we still at Shaolin Temple? We might have gone to a different temple. What the hell does that say? Oh no, Thousand Buddha Hall. Oh, this is Thousand Buddha Hall. Everybody knows this hall. This is from the movie Shaolin Temple. This is with the indentations on the ground. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody knows the form. Ha, ha, ha. I don't even know if you can walk into this hall anymore. Back then, you could just like walk on the stones on the same place. Like, hey, this is the same place the Shaolin monks stomped on the ground. I can't remember if you can go in here anymore. 96, you could. Here we are. Keep going here.
And then get the mountain. Oh, yeah.
I wonder if this is still even there. So I remember the tour guide was like, "Oh yeah, when you have a chance, go in this courtyard over here, and there's a bunch of ancient sculptures of Shaolin monks in different poses." I'm like, "Cool, man, let's check out these ancient sculptures." And then you went in there, and you're like, "These sculptures aren't ancient. These sculptures are from like 5 years ago." But you know, this is part of the tourist attraction of Shaolin Temple. I'm sure they redid this. Because, like, look at the faces. You're like, that's not even a really good sculpture.
Resting, bow.
But at the time, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Oh, man. Okay, okay. So now we're back. This is Master Qin Qing Feng. So he was demonstrating Chen style Tai Chi, which at the time I was like, dude, this is sick. This guy's dope. And it is, you know, it's good. But this is definitely not his specialty. So not only was he like a really good, skilled traditional master, but he knew contemporary wushu, he knew tai chi, and was able to teach a lot of these different things. I think at the end of the video, we see him teaching his kids class, which was just like an after-school class for local kids that, you know, may have competed in some local tournaments, but were not professional athletes, or were not on track to be professional athletes. Sometimes I think that it was crazy that on my first trip to China, I could have been training with Master Feng Zhiqiang, but at the time I was like, no, I like Wushu. Tai Chi's cool. I'm just gonna do Wushu. Yes, let's just pass up on the opportunity of training with one of the greatest Tai Chi masters of his time. Master Feng is who I'm talking about right now. And I have zero video of Master Feng. I have photos from this trip, but I don't think I had any video of Master Feng, unless he like pops up here. Oh, oh. So our class is like, Xue Xingfu, you gotta demo, you gotta show the broadsword form. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna jump. He's like, no, my knees, I'm not gonna do the jump inside. And I think even Master Chin was like, nah, no, don't do the jump. So he's like pretending he's old. He's like 30 right here. He's not really old. But he's like hamming it up. He's like, no, I can't jump. I'm sore. Super clean broadsword. And I like how he's just like, no, okay, I'll jump. I'll do a jump inside into horse stance. Super clean broadsword. If you've ever seen any of those old Wushu videos from like the 80s that have the Beijing Wushu team, like this is Kung Fu and stuff, Xue Xingfu's in there. I don't think they call him out, but if you know what he looks like, you know that he's in there. I think this is now the kids class of Master Chin's like after school class. I think. I think I came to this class a couple times just to because I asked him if I could record video of the students, and he was like, yeah, you can totally come check out my students. And then he probably scared them like, don't fuck up, this American guy's recording video. I probably made these kids' life so much more difficult just by being there. I had no idea. Cameron says 30 is Wushu old. It is. So I just remember, yeah, these kids weren't that good, but you know, they were all, you can tell this kid's very experienced. I mean, he knows what he's doing. But there are just like tons of classes like this, you know, it's just, it's an activity for kids, not aspiring to be a top competitor, not aspiring to be professional, just enjoying Wushu.
到后边去做换空铁啊。
And most of these kids were young. I think maybe there was one that was like a high school student. And I remember this. All of the Nanshan kids in his class had a very long fisty flavor. Like there was like a lot of like high and low and like really extended movements. I don't know why I remember this, but right, it doesn't look very Nanshan-y, but it doesn't look very southern. Like pretty sharp, kids are pretty athletic. That was cool. I remember some of the kids had some interesting choreography, like that big wheeling arm body turn into Wushu.
注意眼神，打开一点。
And even though this is carpet, I remember this floor being incredibly hard. It's basically concrete with no padding and then like a very thin green carpet. There was not a lot of padding here. So I think when you see any kids jumping or anybody do any kind of split landing or fall, this was a hard floor.
整个的不错，整个不。
I think maybe this is one of the older kids. See, they had that like interesting altitude change in their nanshan, where it's like high, low, high, low.
站稳正，注意看。
Still doing a jump inside fall on that hard ass ground. Eeh. See, some weird flavor though, like that like hop into the so he was like looking right. He was like right. Oh, gee, I remember this kid. This kid had this weird attitude like he was really, really good. Very small movements. Very small movements. Pretty athletic. That was weird, right? Inside to the left and then turn to the right. That's weird. Weird. It's pretty good. She's better than I remember her being. She's pretty sharp. Some nice sword combos. I like this. Old school. Beer, I don't remember this. I remember this kid. That I was sitting there recording, and this kid, who was like probably the younger brother of somebody in the class, was like trying to look into the camera viewfinder, because this is like an old camcorder, and I think the kid was like trying to see what I saw, and I was like being nice. I'm like, yeah, you can check it out, and then I turned the camera on him, and as a cute little Chinese boy. Wave to the camera. I love that. Interesting spear form. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Did you see that? Wow. That was cool. Hold on. Going back. Oh, did we lose it? Did I totally lose it? I want to see that move again. I went too far back. I'm sorry. We're going to have to watch the whole thing again. She did some really cool stuff. It was before that jump. Yeah, like over the top, and then that is like almost like the first lan. Okay. Then she does it again there. What does this move? Ooh. Huh. Interesting. Different. Give her credit for that. Back with the Nanshan guy. That wasn't right. Ooh, that's funny.
杨楠，你能不能学出来这感觉？你刚才不是这感觉，全好几个都是错的。好，你看过光动作没有一个废动作。
What was he saying?
注意上下场的动作啊！听见没有？你他妈还有一个喊，在哪儿喊啊？ 呼喊收势的时候喊一下，啊，那个收势的时候注意啊，那个再做一遍。
What was he saying about like how he ended? Like when you finish? Oh, this kid's good. Sharp.
好啊，大有进步。
Sometimes love how little kids do wushu. They're like, "Rah!" Bobblehead.
我们4段下来，
Chop. Like that. Okay. Where are we now? Whoa, girl rocking the tank top cutoff. Oh, we're gonna keep going. Oh, whoa. Kid with the gigantic sword. See how he is.
这是马推，突停突动。
Broadsword. Huge broadsword flags. That's what I'm talking about. None of this tiny little napkin action going on. Little kid, weird nonchalant. Okay.
这段会
Root form. I don't remember this.
看看在家里活动。第二边。快，立腰，注意啊！
Taichi. I don't know if I remember this.
小步跟着要快。注意，头不要歪啊，保持正端正的腰。
42. Not very well.
不管怎么动，啊，注意头部的位置。
Kind of rushing things. Structure not that great. Pretty good control though.
好，出来那劲儿了，对，不错。
He's giving us some props. conditioning. End of class conditioning. Every class has it. Oh God, who hates this one? I hate this one. Continuous wheeling arm. To exhaustion. Ugh. Oh, yeah. These are classic conditioning. Classic. I hated all of these. Oh, man. Like, you can hear how hard the ground is, right? The ground is so hard. It's just like concrete with paper-thin fabric on top. These kids are still practicing. Yeah, class is over, and these kids are like practicing for fun, waiting for their parents to pick them up or something. Crazy kids. Props to these kids for practicing. This is my hotel room. So this is this last part of the trip where I'm staying by myself. And we got the most budget hotel. And it was just around the corner from the school. So earlier in the trip, when the rest of the people were part of the group trip, we had like a really nice hotel downtown. It was probably like a 4-star hotel. But because this last week I was on my own, I got this super divey hotel. And so I'm recording it, like walking through. So, oh yeah, so the hot water was not on all day. It was only on certain hours. So when I wanted to take a shower with hot water, you had to take a shower during those hours. And then classic Chinese style, where like the shower is the bathroom. Like there's no separate shower. There's just a shower head on top of the toilet. So like the whole bathroom gets wet when you take a shower. It's such a trip to see that again. Okay, well that's the end of that video. Thanks for joining me on that trip down memory lane. 1996, I think it was July. 3-week trip total. 2 weeks with the group, and then just under a week on my own. I learned straight sword and I think some spear, like a basic form. And that was the first of many trips to China, not just to Beijing. If anybody has any questions, you can pop it into the comments. Cameron, thank you for staying the entire time, and thank you for all of your comments. Alan Pang, what's up? If there are no questions, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been 1 hour of you all watching me watch a video. Interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do more of these live streams, but I figured, why not? Why not try something different? And I've got a bunch of like old Wushu videos that I think on their own are not that interesting, but I think if I'm there to provide commentary, some backstories or side stories or some sort of story, what do you think for the future? I've got video from the 1989 US team trials, and I've got video from the 1997 US team trials. Which one should be next? Should I go through the 89, which I was not at? That was 1989 in New York City. I got that tape from my friend Mei Su, but in 1997, that was my very first US team trials, and we could watch some of those videos. That's a lot of video, though. It's 2 days of competition. I don't think I have all of the events, but maybe I'll share a selection of videos from that. Some good old school US Wushu athletes and coaches that you all know and love. Cameron, I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking about. Okay. If there are no questions or comments, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this live stream, and I'll put up the recording when it's ready. Okay. See you guys.